Here's an interesting stat they have about what they call daytime residue showing up in your dreams. So according to this study, they said about 50% of dreams include recent experience from the day. Now that number seems high to me, but then again, I'm not sure how general or how specific, they're being with this recent experience from the day. My guess is it would have to be, pretty damn general. Or like, say, if you drove someplace that day and then you're dreaming of driving anywhere within a dream, does that count as a hit? If you were having a conversation with somebody, which I assume would happen most days, and then you're dreaming about having a conversation with some random dream character, does that hit? Or does it have to be, like dreaming of talking to the same person you were talking to in the daytime, having a similar type of conversation, which is kind of more what I would find more interesting, or how I would want to take it, which I'm sure would knock that stat down quite a bit. But this actually reminded me of a video I made a long time ago. I was going to try to find it, but I got too many damn videos to sort through. I'm not sure which playlist I put it in. I have no idea how I would have titled the damn thing. So screw that. I'm just gonna have to go off of memory. But it was basically about trying to get some type of experience or something from the daytime to show up that night in your dreams. So basically like a form of intention setting. So if you watch your dreams often enough, this will definitely happen occasionally where something from the daytime will show up pretty much exactly in your dreams, the following night, or at least soon thereafter. Then with enough repeated exposure to this, you can actually start trying to find a general sense or feel you have, for the thing that showed up in your dreams that night, and then superimpose it onto other things, in the waking life that you want to potentially dream about. So as I said, it's basically like a form of intention setting. And I still make use of this quite a bit nowadays. It's such a common practice for me that I do it lightly, but I do it pretty often. I mean, at least every few days, I'm kind of running through some scenario like this in my head. And then Robert Stickgold had some cool things to say about this, kind of going at more my point, not just the general 50% of dreams thing that we talked about in the beginning. So he says the three key elements that raise the likelihood of something from the daytime showing up basically exactly or very similarly in your dreams are these three things: emotional intensity, repetition, and recency. So that makes me think about the Tetris effect, right? Where Tetris is a pretty hard freaking game, especially when you start getting to the higher levels of it, where it's going like super fast. So it takes, a lot of attention, right? If you're doing it right before bed, then that gets the recency thing in, and then it's obviously a very repetitive type of game. So it checks all those boxes. And, if you play a lot of Tetris, then go to sleep, it just really raises the chances of you having, closing your eyes, hitting hypnagogia, and then watching these blocks fall or something like that. Also, and I brought this up in another video, I think in the nightmare videos we did on in the book, talking about this study where they showed a ritual killing of a water buffalo. And apparently it was a rather, intense video, especially for us Westerners who don't normally see shit like that. Then he would have these people go to sleep, and he wanted to see how often that would show up in their dreams. So if it did show up in their dreams, it showed up on average the first night, the third night, and then the sixth and or seventh night. So not the second night, not the fourth, and not the fifth, right? Like 1, 3, 6, and 7. And they actually kind of went into and some theorized about why that might be, which I thought was pretty cool, but I didn't pull out and make notes of in my Evernote, so I'm not going to cover it here, but grab the book and check that shit out if you want to see it. But the main point I wanted to make is if there is something that you're trying to have come up and show up in your dreams, right? Something you're pulling out specifically from the daytime, or even just generally, dream incubating some idea, give it at least a week.